So that sort of gets me to the point of it's the best offense. Now, who coaches wobble, like younger age groups, 16s, 15s, okay? It's not great for junior basketball, and I'll basically tell you why. Just give us Gold. Come out here for a sec, Gold. I only need one basketball. Give me a point guard with the basketball at half court. Let's go, come on. All right, let's get a shooter in the corner. Let's get a shooter in the corner. Let's get someone down on the dead low. And let me just have a screener up here. You be my screener, perfect. Okay. Actually lift up to the wing, lift up to the wing. Make a pass for me and cut. Just cut wherever you want. Perfect. Now pass to the top, swing the ball. Now you make a cut through. Perfect. Make the pass in the post. You lift out of the post, make another pass. You know, we're just sort of, yep, make the pass, good. Reverse the ball, swing it, make a pass. You drive, make a pass. You know, it's a real unselfish offense, but what you're prone to is turnovers, all right? Especially on the pass, on the drive, but especially on the pass. Whenever that ball's out of someone's hands, it puts the ball technically in jeopardy, okay? So it's great offense when you're moving the ball and it's looking good, by all means. But from an analytics standpoint, it leaves you vulnerable to turnovers. Now, go back to that formation that we had with the point guard with the ball. Come on, whole ass, let's go. All right, drop all the way to the corner, drop all the way to the corner. Perfect. Just set us a high pick and roll, go shoulder to shoulder off the screen. Boom, hold it there. Hold on to that ball. You're gonna get it just as good as look from that than it is from passing east to west, drive and cut, pass, cut, screens off the ball. Where if you just set an effective pick and roll and look to pull up for the shot, it's just as good as a look as any other. But how are you going to explain that to, what's your name? Tia. How are you going to explain that to Tia's parents? Because she doesn't get a touch all game. You know, and so that's where you want to try and find a happy balance. If you watch the NBA, college basketball's getting like this as well. There's a lot of teams in the NBA like this. That's all it is. You'll have a shooter, a rebounder, a great screener, and a Chris Paul or a John Wall or in the NBA like a Casper Ware or, you know, Jerome Randall from last year just running off pick and rolls all game, because you're going to get a fantastic look. It gives you a high percentage of field goal attempts. That's what that is. Doesn't mean you'll make them, all right? But it'll give you a good high percentage of field goal attempts and also limit your turnovers. But again, it's not a great selfless type of offense. That sort of makes sense? All right. Keys to an effective pick and roll. And again, you want to find a balance in it, but let's say keys to an effective pick and roll. Let's go, two big fellas in black. You jump out for us. Gold, jump out there for me. Grab a basketball for me. Okay, let's have you be my guard out in the wing. You be my big with the basketball. Hold on to the basketball. Just stay at the top for me, okay? Keys to an effective pick and roll. First thing is you really want to get separation as soon as you collect that ball. You want to set your defender up. So make the pass. Actually, let's swap over. You stay right there. You be the defender for us. All right, stay right there. So I collect the ball. Let's say you want to send me baseline. All right, perfect. All right, so you're trying to send me away from the screen. He doesn't know the screen's coming yet. Sending me baseline. I want to try and get some type of separation. I want to engage the defense. Okay, and the best way you can do that without wasting your dribble is simply give yourself a jab step, and now the defense is engaged. As he starts to sprint to that screen, as I bring it back, I may have separation. You can put the ball on the floor if you want to, if he's good at creating with the ball. You don't want to waste your dribble just yet. But if you can get that separation before the screen is set, perfect. All right, so start at the top again for us. So this is what we do at every level. We do this when we just go on, you know, 2 versus no defense, 2 on 2, 1 on 1. Make the pass, and as soon as you catch it, give me a jab step baseline. Perfect, okay? Go back. Give me 1 defender, okay? Get up and deny the pass for us. 1 hand in the passing lane. Be a third off for me, so a little bit off. That's it. Make the pass. Jump to the ball. Give me a jab. That's it, and you want to react to it. Perfect, so stay right there for us. Cool? So that's the responsibility of the ball carrier. You got to get that separation. If you don't get that separation, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Now we want to headhunt on the screen, okay? And what I mean by that is, as you're getting separation, give us that jab step and the defense engages it. My sternum right here wants to get on her upper arm, okay? And I want to meet her, all right? So you can, if you wish to, wait for it here, if that's what his preference is. But what's really good is if you can just plant your 2 feet right as she's made a hell of a job trying to stay in front of the ball, boom, and that's it, right there. Sternum to upper arm, okay? Really head hunt on the screen. That's the same with off the ball too. If you can head hunt on the screen, that's what we really want to target, okay? The screener, the more you can get your back to the basket, the better, okay? And what I mean by that is let's have that ball a little bit higher. You can drop off for us now, thank you. Okay, I'll be you for a sec, okay? If I set my screen here with my back angled, let's say towards the elbow, he's got to go over it. The defense can come out and hard show, which we'll get into later, okay? Harder to defend, he has to go the long way around it, all right? And even if they go under and squeeze it, which again we'll go into more, come back, he's still sort of making this curling action to go around and have to get to the cup, okay? If I can set the screen more with my back to the basket, still in a side pick and roll, okay? But if I can get it almost where I'm here, and let's say you're further back, now he's able to operate either side of the screen, and more importantly, he can go downhill, okay? And if he is a great off the pick and roll, great against the basket, great at drawing fouls, these are one of the best screens he can get. All right, so the more you can get your back to the basket, the better. Now, is it a must? No, because there's different types of pick and rolls, which we're going to get into, but it's not a must. The worst type of turnover you can get is an illegal screen. Kills you, right? In the NBL now, let's actually you be the defender. All right, so I'm going to hit you with a pass, okay? And give us a jab step. I'm going to set a screen. I want you to come off it, okay? I want you to go over the screen for me, okay? So hit the pass, give us a jab step. Here, yep, set it, go. Moving the screen, kills you. Come back. The big one they're trying to do now as well, or the one they're getting everyone caught out on, is this one. Oops, sorry, pass there. Give us a jab. Yep, screen, go. And they stick your ass out that way. All right? Illegal screen straight away, boom, you lose the ball. One of the worst type of turnovers you can get, okay? Because it's silly. It's not like you accidentally bounce the ball off your foot. It's not like you make a bad pass. You don't mean to, but you can actually control how you set a screen. So that's why we say it's one of the worst you can set. Decision making now coming off the pick and roll. Give yourself 2 dribbles before you decide what you want to do, and you've got to be aggressive. If you come off the pick and roll looking like you're going to pass it or you're going to shoot it, then that's how the defense is going to play you. So you've got to be aggressive, okay? So back to the top for us. Come up a little bit higher for us this time. And what we say is 2 dribbles, okay? So make that pass. Sorry, yeah, make that pass. Jab step, head on that screen, and attack it. Don't look at me. Boom. And that's where you'll make your decision now. Because by this point, I've got a clear path. Or defense is engaged, and I'm pulling up for that shot. Or I'm hitting the roll guy. Or I've got a shooter propped up on the wing. But if you short it too early and you just come off 1 dribble, it's too early, okay? The big hasn't engaged defense or rolled to the basket. The help defense hasn't been drawn in yet. If you can get that ball into the keyway, you're going to sucker in the defense. Defense is going to collapse in, and that's where you're going to get your options from, okay? And the last one is the crack in versus lift. This is a personnel thing. Let's go 23. Jump out for us. You're going to be my screener now. You're going to be my big guy hanging out down here. Actually, let's get you on the opposite side. Okay? Let's say your primary game is pick and pop. Great 3-point shooter. Okay? Set the screen, you're going to pop. Okay? What's going to happen in this instance is start the ball at the top, start up a little bit higher for us, make that pass, head hunt on the screen, give us a jab step, hold it there, perfect. When you screen now, come off it, give yourself 2 dribbles, hold it there, pop out to, let's say, anywhere between the corner and the nipple. Good, perfect, okay? What we want now is the other big fella is what we call crack in, okay? So if I'm defending him, I'm the help defense now. If this has been a great pick and roll, I have to step across here and play this, all right? Because either his man's beaten and I've got to take the ball, it's either going to be my big man might be caught out and I might be the guy I have to rotate towards the pick and pop, and this we'll go into later as well. But either way, right, help defense has to be here, because if he's not here, he's got a layup, even if his man's still on him. So this is what we refer to as you being me now. So you're the help defense. This is what we refer to as the crack in. So go back to the top again, run it from the start. Let's go at a bit of a game pace on this one. Now, what I want you to do is dribble to the elbow, but then sort of retreat, dribble out to the 3. Okay, let's see it, go. You're the help defense, here, boom, we crack in. And this is what Gus and Matty Knight do really well. They'll crack in right here, and this is a deep seal. He's engaged in being the help defense. He has to be in this spot. We pump him, boom, right here. All right? That's a personnel thing. Now let's switch the roles. Let's have you in the dead low. Let's have you setting the on ball. And now you're a roll guy. You love getting to the basket. All right? You average 20 points a game and they're all in the paint. So make that pass. Good. Hold it there. Set it about there for me. Pretend he's right there. Good. You're right. You're right. You're going to come off it. You'll roll into the paint and you're going to lift. This gives you a couple of different looks at it. As you roll, perfect, and you lift up, and you're going to lift more about here, okay? You either got the high-low, because let's say if you're a great shooter, your help defense has to come out and get you. You got high-low, you got your own shot. If you want to step out to 3, you can shoot it here, and there's continuation. So run that again from the start for us. What I want you to do is you'll make the pass, and then you'll dump it into the big fella rolling. Let's get it at a game pace, okay? So this is lifting. Good, pass, bang, bang, okay? So it's a personnel thing, whether you crack in or you lift, but you have to do something off the ball, all right? So there's some of the keys just to making sure your pick and rolls were effective. Any questions on that? Good. The pop or the roll. Now as we start talking about how we want these people to do it. When I was a kid and I was getting my clinics and coaching classes and everything else, they said, this is how you have to roll the basket, okay? Now, also, please, this is a preference thing, so I'm giving you guys different variations or versions of how we sort of do it and how I've done it. If you have something you prefer to do and that's your preference, by all means, do it that way. We're just sort of throwing out some different ideas, and I'd love to hear opinions you guys may have on it. But it was the old times, it was make that pass, get that separation. Now, don't attack the keyway, get all the way there. We set that screen, and we always wanted to open up to the ball this way and collect the ball. Come back, because we never wanted to lose sight of the basketball. So pass is made, give us that separation, good. Come off it, here, we open up, we roll. What we come to find is it's slow, okay? Especially if the defense is underneath you and they're squeezing you, okay? So what we want to do is a front pivot or a forward pivot, whichever you prefer. Pass is made. Comes off the on ball here, and it's straight that way, okay? So it's just a simple front pivot, and we get the guys doing this over and over and over and over again. So that's how like we say you want to roll, okay? Make it on the front pivot. On the pop, again.
On that, would it depend on who's doing it? Like you said, if you've got a tall guy with like long reach,
yeah.
Would you be better doing a front roll, or are you better like getting that bounce pass in?
If the defense switches, so let's get 73, jump out here for us. All right, I'm going to be you and me together, okay? So your defense, okay? Defense, you're going to switch. So as soon as they come off the pick and roll, you guys just simply switch in place. So yeah, this would be great. Again, let's say this is any type of small forward and you've got a real dominant big guy. When he hits that here, and we go on ball, good, use it. You want to roll and get that seal because you're going to keep him there. Great challenge to it, right? Definitely if they want to switch out on it, okay? But let's say you come back. What I want you to do is just hard show. So jump out on the ball. So boom, we make that pass, get that separation here. He jumps out. We want to front pivot and be right on the rim. Because remember, if he doesn't make that pass, we've got the other big lift in, and then that's a better passing angle, 1-2. So yeah, I mean, by all means, you still want to teach doing that reverse pivot and veering back if they switch out on it. But I said, if you want to try and get out the gates nice and quick, and you do have a fairly athletic big, and you want to get them on the ring, the front pivot's great. So on the pop, thanks mate, I'll jump back. Let me take your spot for a sec. Pass is made, lift up, come a little bit closer, too close to the sideline because we'll trap you there, perfect. Give us a jab step, good. Come off it, Now, Jesse Wagstaff again, Sean Redditch from last year. Guys, we want to get that separation. They're going to shoot it. Matty Knight more so on the short roll. But rather than just sort of open up this way, coming back, what we say is 2 big strides out the gate. Clean up on that screen, especially if this is such a big focus on the defense, like let's say it's a Bryce Cotton. He comes off it, it's 2 big strides, and then we're looking over our shoulder to catch it here. We want to try and get as much separation as we can from here. We want to have to get the help defense to come out and close out that shot. And again, it just opens up those gaps. So with that being said, we want everybody to be off the 3-point line. So when you set that on ball, now hold it there. What I want you to do is you're going to attack the basket, you're going to hit the wing, you're going to make the extra pass to the corner for me. Okay? Ready? Go. Boom. Hold it there. Good. And that's how we want it. You want it on the catch, so you're stepping into your shot. Okay? If you already got toes on the 3-point line, unless you're a quick release shooter, okay, it's going to be flat. And if you are on the 3-point line, you still want that rhythm, suddenly now it's going to be a long 2. All right.
So for little kids, would you start them on the 3, like, because they can't shoot it from there anyway?
Yeah.
So would you just get them, just to get the idea of spacing, get them on the 3-point line?
Yeah, that's a good question. The youngest I've ever coached is under 16s. And I've always had them still off the 3-point line just to reinforce that good habit, because it's funny, like the team photos at the start of the season, I'm taller than them all. And by the end of the season, they're all taller than me. So you start to see their natural progression in their shot anyway, developing that 3. So anything younger than that's a good question. I suppose, don't they use that inside 3-point line? Yeah, so you could actually, effectively, so you could use this as your guide, because that's the 3-point line for the youngins. But 16s, I'd say, yeah, get them out here. But I mean, again, that's my own personal preference. And I can't speak from experience for anything younger or anybody younger. All right. Types of pick and roll. Okay, you guys stay out here for us. All right, let's change up the point guard for us. Let's get, we'll have you as a big. Let's get you out of the corner. You be my point guard. You still be my screener. Okay, just come and set the screen here for us. Be a little bit higher. Yep, be spaced. Side pick and roll. Okay, as it says, because it's on the side. All right, real effective if actually higher percentage of attacking the basket in the side pick and roll, because it's exactly where you want to be. You've split the court in half. Okay, so if you've got half your team over here, and let's say the help defense is set up, which we'll get into in a sec, the defense is set up at best here on the split line, and you're a real effective pick and roll, this is giving you guys basically a 2-on-2 in the half court. So when we defend it, we want to be aggressive with it. We want to be really aggressive with it, compared to the high pick and roll where it's more of a containment, which we'll get into in a sec. So that's your side pick and roll. Then you got your step up, which we talked about. Jump to the half court for me. Perfect, be right there. Back to the baseline. You guys stay exactly where you are. Yeah, back to the baseline. No, you're right. Back to the baseline. Step up screen. Okay? And again, highly effective because they're going downhill. If you get someone going downhill at speed, it's tough to defend. Casper Ware is a great example of this, and we'll talk about how we sort of wanted to attack that in the scout when we played them the other week. Okay, then you got your spread pick and roll. So this is, go back to the side pick and roll for me, but this time you jump out in the corner. So this is spread pick and roll, clearing everybody out, okay? Nothing in the keyway, so you don't really have anybody lifting now. This is great for what people, when they play small ball. Again, example I use in the state league, I was very lucky that I had Kyle Armour, who was, like I said, fringe NBL. I had Tom Jervis, who was NBL. And then I had like Drew and Sunday and all these shooters propped up on the perimeter. So we just ran this and just made other teams have to defend it because, you know, we're blessed with a lot of talent in the team. So that is a spread pick and roll where it's great if you want to empty out the key and you've got shooters propped up. High pick and roll, come up to the top for me. You set that screen, angle your bum towards the corner, right here, right to the top. Perfect. And let's get, you jump in this block for me. You be flat. So now we got like a high pick and roll with a 3 flat along the baseline, and it gives you that spacing as well. This is what we say is more of a containment, which we'll talk about in the defensive side of things as well. Okay, we want to contain more than here. This isn't as threatening to us as the side pick and roll. All right, why? Because you've got better position for help defense. You can sort of manage where you want to send him, or her, sorry, in this case, in that pick and roll. Because if you're like, right, terrible on the left hand, or let's say in this instance, right hand, whatever it may be, we can get up and want to send it this way, have the big guy up and everybody engaged. Whereas the side pick and roll could be a little bit more threatening because you don't have as many help defenders engaged with the ball being so close. Straight on, which is back to the rim. Just have your right here. Bang, like that. And it's great. This can be in a high pick and roll setup, or in this case, right in the mid. But if you got a point guard who's really gifted and they can choose which side they want to go, most of the time the defense is going to try and stay and angle them one side. The big's always going to play off, so they can attack the big guy, get clipped on the screen, and now you've got a mismatch between a real talented point guard and a big fella that's backpedaling, trying to not foul him. And we'll get into the defensive side of things. And then, of course, you've got shakes. Shakes is the same type of setup. Just bring that formation over here, back to the basket. You'll lift up out of the corner for us. Perfect. And this is that shakes formation. Again, back to the basket, but now you're on the side pick and roll. Okay? We just wanted to go over them real briefly because then we're going to talk about how we want to defend them because everything's a little bit different in terms of the ball placement on the court. Any questions with that? All right. So, some examples where we can get offenses into pick and roll. Because as we talked about, if you're coaching under 16s or under 14s and you really want to utilize in the pick and roll, but it's not great in terms of like sharing the ball and everybody sort of getting a touch, there's a couple of different types of offenses. We won't go into too much detail with this because obviously there's a lot of sets, but some real common ones. We can have, let's get the 2 bigs on the block for us, setting screens. Can I get the 2 girls inside the charge circle for me? So you're here on the block. Perfect. Point guard at the top. All right, this is a floppy set or turnouts. Okay, so you're going to set a screen, face the ring for us. You're going to set a screen, perfect. You're going to set a screen for her. Perfect. Choose which side you want to go. You go out the other side. Really high up onto the wing. Make the pass. You can go ball side and set a step-up screen. Perfect. Or you can circle out, and you can come and set a side pick and roll. And then you sort of shift over. Okay, so this is a floppy into a side pick and roll. So run that again for us. Do it with you guys circling out into a side pick and roll. All right, that's it. Boom. That's it. Circle out. Hold it there. If anything, if I was going to be nitpicky about it, I want you to collect it high. I don't want you below the foul line, okay? Because you can trap against the sideline if it's that deep. All right, then you're in that side formation type pick and roll. All right, so that's a floppy set. You can come up and say, let's get the point guard with the ball again. You guys know horns? Yep. All right, so you guys come up a little bit higher for us. Start it with a dribble handoff. You bring the ball up. So dribble handoff. Good. Bring the ball up nice and high. Good. Give each other a bit of a brush screen, which is not really setting a screen, but setting a brush screen. And then turn around and set that mid pick and roll right there. Mid pick and roll when you guys drop to the corner. Okay, run that again for us real quick. You can start the dribble handoff. Ready? Go. Good, bring it high, brush screen, set it, okay? So you can get into like a horn set, just something to get a bit of ball movement. The main thing is if you can get the defense engaged into something before you go straight into a pick and roll, then the defense isn't set, okay? If the defense is set and you're getting into straight into pick and roll, the defense is ready for you. If you can run a bit of smoke and mirrors beforehand, get the defense moving on the spot, suddenly now you might have a few options available to you, a few gaps. All right, defending the pick and roll. So let's get gold team out here now. All right, so set me up, Black, stay exactly where you are. Set me up that side pick and roll. So let's have the ball carrier up nice and high. Let's have shooter in the corner. Let's have the big guy with the basketball at the top. Let's get another one in the dead low. Let's have you lift it up onto the wing. Okay? Make the pass, go into a pick and roll and hold it right there for us. As soon as this happens, it's automatic that the help defense has to triangle away, okay? And what we mean by the triangle away is the block, the nail, and the block, okay? And the way we'll work this out is we're generally going to want to have our big guy be that first rotation of the big fella rolling to the basket. Now in this instance, right now, we've got a shooter in the corner, so that doesn't allow it. But what happens in this instance is you take the block. No, your offense. Defense, perfect, gold. You come up and take the nail. You drop in and take the block. All right, this is our help defense formation for no matter what we're doing with the pick and roll, okay? Whether we're gonna green it, whether we're gonna go switch, whether we're gonna hard show, whether we wanna send it away, we wanna go baseline, we always wanna make sure we're setting that triangle away, okay? And we'll get more into like the pick and roll side of things, but this is automatic. So run back to the top for us, start with the, well, actually start with the ball on the wing, okay? So who's up on the ball? Deny the post. One hand in the passing lane. Perfect. Your split line help. Your split line help. Perfect. Hold it there. Okay? So this is how it starts. Reverse the ball. Reverse it. Follow it for an on ball. And everybody falls into formation. Okay? If that's a shooter in the corner, we're going to say, right, we can get out there in time to contest that corner three rather than give up a wide open layup in the paint. Because again, and as we always say our players, if you go out and deny that corner for us, perfect. And let's say you're up a little bit higher. If we got real estate here, yeah, go for it, okay? If you see it, we want you to attack it. Because there's even a good chance that the refs are going to give you a foul anyway and give you 2 shots, all right? But if you're here, it just puts that little bit of doubt in your mind that's like, oh, hang on, this is tough, okay? Also, when we talk about from a percentage standpoint, we can get out and contest this corner three. Now, it's a high percentage because it's closer to the ring, obviously. But if that corner three misses, anybody know what it's likely to give up? Yeah, transition. Corner threes, if it's a miss, boom, transition. This is why, again, I'm changing the topic briefly right here. But if you have, let's say, a safety at half court, you have a designated safety, usually it's the smallest player on your team. But you say, all right, when that shot goes up, everybody crashes rebounds, you got 1 safety. For the offense for a corner three, we got 2 safeties. Just because there's a good chance someone's going to forget. So not that we want 2 safeties, other than we just say that because one of them's going to forget. So as long as we've got 1 back there, we're doing okay. All right, so that's the triangle away that we're talking about. Coming from below the foul line compared to above the foul line is also how we want to defend the on ball. So ball back at the top for us. I'll take your spot real quick. Okay, if I'm above the foul line, we make that pass. Defense, we generally have an automatic show, okay, because we're in the position to do it, okay? So you go set that on ball, we're going to come up here and we're going to be ready to show on that because we can, because it allows us, okay? Whereas the rule, if it comes from below the foul line, so switch it over for me. You be up on him. Let me take your spot briefly for a sec. No, you're up, you're up, you're up, you're up. All right? Now, right, so I'm help defense here. Take the pass, but then dive to the basket. Give me a bit of a brush screen. Give me a bit of a brush screen. You come up and set that on ball. No, we don't switch, mate. Come on, come back, set it up again. We're not switching. You stay on your man, okay? Make that pass, give us a brush screen. You go set the on ball, right? Now I'm coming from below the foul line. It's hard for me to charge all the way back up here and show. Okay, so what we call is blue this. And what it basically means is we're gonna try and send them away from the screen. We wanna force them baseline, okay? Just because it's hard for a big guy who's engaged in the game pace of it all, if he's down here and he's engaged in the defense and he gets a bit of a brush screen, or even if he doesn't get that brush screen, and we're saying on those head-hunting screens on the offense, because he wants to sprint to the screen, if he's got a sprint and he's already a couple of feet in front of me, it's going to be hard for me to catch up and try and show him that in time. So I'll call blue, which is pretty much blue is pretty much the same for everyone, which is sending them away from the screen, and we want to send them baseline, which again, we'll go on to in a sec. And then of course, which I've briefly mentioned about high pick and roll versus side pick and roll. We can show on a side pick and roll, we want to get after it. In the mid pick and roll, it's more of a containment. All right, so just set me up a mid pick and roll. Give me a point guard. Yep, you be up. You jump over. Take corner. Let me take your spot real quick. I'll take your spot. Okay, so if you set this screen here, we're going to have the ball carrier, defender of the ball, want to get over that screen, and I'm going to absorb the ball, as we say. So just come off that screen. Perfect. You want to come over it. Good. We'll absorb the ball. If you can get back in front, great. I got my man. If we can't, go back for us. And let's say you're going at pace, you're going at speed. It's an automatic switch. What are you vulnerable to then? Anybody know? Yeah, just the big guy crashing straight. So let's swap. Let me take your spot real quick. You jump in. So you're going to absorb the ball. We're going to switch on this. Okay? So what we always say in this instance, you come off that screen, and I have to switch. We want to veer back. All right. So you want to get the little fella and just be pushing into him. We want to veer back. Make it hard. Don't give him that straight line. Keep that front position. Allow this contest to happen, because it's going to have to happen. And you're either in prime real estate here to get the rebound, but more importantly, you keep him out of the contest. All right, that's the only time it really hurts you. So that's why we say, generally the mid pick and roll will look to contain, side pick and roll will get up and we'll pressure it, because it's a little bit more threatening. Any questions on that?
Does the big guy start at the free throw line or up higher and go backwards?
Yeah, so set it up for us. Let's get you down the block. If we can, and this is what I've always liked, if we can, I want the big fella to go down and set that brush screen, and then you come up and set it. Again, because it's just engaging the defense. So yeah, so ideally we don't want the big just to be stationary hanging out. We want him sprinting up to that screen. Same as like when we have the side pick and roll. When he makes that pass and I'm saying, it's on the point guard right now to get separation. He's got to get separation. It's the big fella's responsibility to have to sprint to that screen and get in place. If he jogs to it, the defense is going to get engaged before he will. Cool? Alrighty. Now we're going to talk about the different types of defending the pick and roll. So, give us a side pick and roll for us real quick. Okay? I'm going to be barking a little bit more at you guys now, so I need you to pick up the pace. Let's get you in the dead low. Let's lift you out of the corner. Ball starts at the top. Perfect. We switch. Simple one to do. Great for every age group. As you start to get to the older age groups, not so ideal. And that's where we say we'll switch if it's like for like. We'll switch if it's late shot clock, or we'll switch if it's like for like. But the main thing is when that pass is made, set that on ball. Good. You still triangle away. All right. Actually, let's set this up now. Let's go you in that corner. So go back to the top for us. Everybody be in help position. So the ball's there. Where would your help position be, you reckon? In that your defender? Yeah. Your opponent? So you'll be here. Okay, you'll be one pass away. Hand in the passing lane. Perfect. You'll be about there. Good. All right. We'll say if you're one pass away, we want you to be in a closed stance. Lane pressure. Okay. If you're two or more passes away, we want you to be in an open stance. All right. So one pass in the lane. Sorry. Ball back. One hand in the lane. One hand in the lane. And you guys will be in an open stance. And that could be a flat triangle if you want. That's fine. But you'll always be aware of ball and man. Okay. Pass is made. On ball set. Hold it there. Good. Now this is what we're talking about. I want our big to be our first line of rotation. So you're going to jump across to that block right there. Perfect. Okay. Where were you at? Yeah. Yep. So we're going to have you stay there though, because that's your man. And then you're going to come across here and be at the nail. We refer to that as the nail. Nail, captain, blocks, dead low if it's on the opposite side. Okay. So that's your triangle away. All right. Don't make a move, but pick and roll happens. No one gets harmed by it. Everybody goes back to their man. But just in that instance where if we get caught out in the pick and roll and he slips to the basket, we want the big guy here checking him, all right? Letting that be the first line of rotation, all right? So the switch. Let me take your spot for us real quick. You got the top for me? Had the ball? All right. You can color code it. You can have names, numbers, whichever your preference is. I like the colors. But switch, we just call switch. Away. Pass to the wing. Give us that separation. Perfect here, okay? Now, when I hear it, our screen set, because remember your head on me. When I hear what? Switch. Yeah, or screen coming. And we usually like the big guys to be the ones to communicate what's going on. We'll have in the scout beforehand what we're doing. So even if I hear screen, we know it's going to be switch because that's what the scout is beforehand. Main thing I'm going to make sure I do is send them to the screen. okay? So I'm gonna take away sideline. So where I might be as a defense saying, hey, we wanna send the ball baseline, again, preference and what you prefer. Suddenly my position switches, I'm gonna send them this way, perfect. The screen defender's gonna flat show, but it's gotta be a jump switch to the ball. We don't wanna get caught out on him slipping early or you shooting the gap, okay? So when this happens here, we exchange and I squeeze to make sure he doesn't roll on us. All right, so go back again. Let's go to a bit of a game pace for me. Cool, so make that pass. Good, boom, and that's it right there. And then everybody goes back to their spots. It's a jump switch, and I think that's really important to have key catchwords like that because it emphasizes how important that you need to make sure that you have the jump switch. Because if you just switch, it can be lazy, and that's where you get caught out, okay? Again, great if it's like for like. I remember Brett Coxedge sent out some paperwork about 16 nationals where they talked about like the 3-point shooters and like on average I think we're shooting like 20-some% from 3. You know, if you want to play it like that as well because you know they're not a great 3-point shooting team, you know, you can switch or you can go under on the screen, which we're going to talk about in a sec. But it's really dependent on your personnel and I can't stress that enough. All right, so then the next part is under. Okay, so let's set that up again. Actually, you know what? Let's play that switch real quick. All right. Actually, let's swap the boys out real quick. Boys, you come up here. Girls, you jump down in the block. All right, Gold, you know where you're jumping to? You know where you have to jump to? Where you're jumping. Perfect. All right. Let's get it at a game pace here. All right. I'm going to give you guys like an 8-second shot clock to get something out of it. All right. Ready? We're switching. Go. Good. Shoot it. 2, 1, all right, good. See, and that's what I mean. It didn't harm us. Great jump switch. If anything, we want a little bit more communication with the help defense, but we haven't gone through that, so that's fine. But everybody formed that triangle away. We got out of the pick and roll, and everybody jumped back to their man. Didn't hurt us, okay? Now when we talk about going under, okay? So let me take your spot real quick. Jump to the sideline for me, okay? Offense. Just recap, again, pass is made, he's got to get separation, he sprints to the screen, he gets his sternum on his shoulder, he makes sure he sets a nice legal pick, he's attacking off of it, and he's got 2 dribbles before he wants to make a decision. Now defensively, when we go under, and what that means is, I'm going to go under my man and under the screen. Under, okay? So go back for us. Same deal again, pass is made, I hear... No, I hear screen. You don't have to sound on it. Screen, right? I take away the baseline, okay? I want to send him to the screen, okay? As he goes over the screen, I'm going to meet him out the other side, okay? This only works if the big guy squeezes his man, okay? So let me take your spot real quick. Are you good with that, what I just did? Perfect. Let me take your spot. So, as we talked about, I want him to sprint to the screen. We always, as a screen defender, one of the big things you can say is bump them off their line. Because when you make that pass, don't run to it, but make the pass, it's a straight line that he's setting, okay? Come up a little bit higher for us. Perfect, hold it there. So once he's made that pass, and as always, I jump to the ball because that's what I got to do as a defender because I know I'm one pass. He's saying screen, I'm going to bump him off his line, okay? You got to make sure you do it legally, of course, but you want to make this tough, okay? Bump him off his line. So then suddenly he's setting the screen up there. All right? But let's say you get a good clean hit. Good. Now I need to squeeze him. There needs to be no space, right, between me and him. So I'm keeping it tight right here. The reason is because when you go under, let's say you roll. Say right there, you roll. We're taking both out. Okay, so you've got to be tough about this. Okay, so you've got to squeeze it because I don't want to be screening my own man on this. So go back for us. So this is a non-shooter, for obvious reasons, because if you go under, what's he going to do? Shoot it, right? And this is a real effective screener roller to the basket, okay? So I've got to make sure I take his roll, right? And we're playing him for the drive. So when I squeeze this and you go under, you're going to meet him at the elbow. Good? All right, so let's run that. Go. Screen left. Good. And there we are. Under. So run that for us. Are you good with that? Cool. Run that for us. And you got an 8-second shot clock. Let's see what you got. Go. Good, play it. 5, 4, 3, 2, good. Unlucky, all right? So that's under. Again, personnel dependent. Can't be a shooter who's got the ball, and the big guy has to be like really effective in the pick and roll, all right? Under over, okay, or X out. So, let's go. Actually, I'll walk you guys through this, okay? Do exactly what you just did. Everything's the same with the under. Make the pass, you yell screen. Good, hold it right there. Now we're gonna show on this, okay? One piece of terminology I like to say with the bigs, especially with the younger age groups, when the screen defender, you have to be violent with the ball, okay? Because otherwise, you just find, if you say, I need you to show, they do this. They'll show, and they'll go right back. And end up what they're doing is, just come off that screen, you follow him, they end up screening their own man and then going back. So you want to be violent on the ball, you want to play the ball, okay? So when that pass, yep, screen happens, you come off it, I'm here, I'm playing the ball, just like that, okay? Now this is what we refer to as X out, say exactly where you were. He's gone over the screen, but he's going to go under me, okay? So come back again for us. Yep, we go show, go under, we're back with high hands. All right, so you want to run that for us? Just give us a quick demo, go to about 80%. When you get it, just pick the ball up and hold it. Ready? Let's see it. Just show it, come back, and that's where you got to be in a straight line because he's going to go under you. Understand? So you're going to show, he's going to go under you. Run it again. This is where we X out. Go. Good. High hands. If I was to be nitpicky about anything, what would you've done better? Yeah, because you don't, the ball's done. The ball's out there and he's got it. Now you got to find your man, okay? Real effective, all right? If the guy, even if he's a pick and pop, because you're going into a straight line with your high hands, if he makes that pass, he's got to pass it over the top or it's going to hit you in the back of the head. All right, so just run that one more time for us real quick. So this is under, over, X out, show, however you want to say it. Go. Good. Good. Back. Perfect. All right. Anybody got any questions so far? What you're vulnerable to, right, is if what happens just then, let's say the bigs get caught up. Let's say the two gold defenders get caught up. All right. They end up screening their own man. We do a good job containing the ball, but we roll to the basket. That's where it's really important now. Let's set that up again. Once you guys get to the hard show, stay exactly where you are. All right, so, yep, make the pass, set that on ball, get out to the hard show, hold it right there, perfect. Let's say we just get caught up here and you make a quick pass, boom. That's exactly right. And that's where we want that rotation to come from. What hurts us now is if there's a shooter in the corner and you almost have to sort of play both on this. The way you do it is, actually, don't move where you are. You jump over here for us. You almost treat it like a zone. So the way you close out is you'd be like, try and take that pass away, but really you want the big fella to put it on the floor and you're sending them to the help. Again, you're making the best out of a terrible situation right now. So if you can play whatever advantage you have, take it. So we do it like a zone where you want to bump the wing, but then you also got a hand in the passing lane here. All right, jump back over there for us. But in this instance, it's a nice, easy rotation. You go there, you're at the nail, you're at the captain. Captain's got to be the loudest voice. We call this the captain because they can see everything. All right, you'll be communicating, take the wing, all right? Because really that's what's happening right now. If there's a quick pass out of it, we're in a scrambled defense getting out of it. The number one way you can get out, the best way to get yourself into a scrambled defense and do it well is just communicate. Let's say, hold it right there. Let's say you say exactly where everybody is, make a skip pass. Hold it right there. Because right now you're scrambling back. You're going to stay on your man, you're going to stay on your man. Okay, we're scrambling back. You will take shooter, but you would remain in the post. Hold it there. Good. You'll keep sprinting. You come here to the nail. You're at the captain spot. Make sense? All right? But sometimes it doesn't happen that way. And you know what? As long as you talk yourself and communicate out of it, you're trying to make, again, the best out of a bad situation. Because we got caught up in this show and it didn't work that clean, and there's a quick ball reversal, now it's a 3-on-2. You always got to make sure, one, you protect paint, and then you take the ball. And then you find the danger men after that, all right? And if it is a late closeout by the big fella trying to close out the corner three, we'll take that, okay? Because at the end of the day, we don't want captain rolling out to the corner and leaving a post wide open for obvious reasons. Spot. So we put a lot of emphasis on the captain. Put a lot of emphasis on the nail, which is the high split line. You know, put a lot of emphasis on that. We use words, like I said, when I say like defending the ball, we want to be violent with the ball. Don't just say you want to come out and show, you know, we want to be violent on the ball. And so then you've got these kids coming out and screaming at the ball carrier, and the kid's like, what the hell's going on here? You know, so put an emphasis on what the positions are, more than just saying you've got to be at the low split. You know, actually having some weight to it, I always found help. But the main thing is, well, I forget what the rule is. They say you got to tell boys, teenage boys, 22 times or something before they remember it. It's like 22 weeks, it felt like sometimes, you know, trying to make sure they remember it. So, but yeah, just emphasis. But the main thing is, don't change it up on them either. I learned that very quickly when you start changing colours and codes, and I'll be confusing myself between what we ran here to what we ran at East Perth, and then it just throws them right off tilt. So, all right. Now, sticking with this, with the X out, and what we talk about, remember how we talked about the side pick and roll? Goal, jump off on me real quick. Perfect, ball out here, big guy with the ball. You're gonna be my low post player. You're gonna roll to the basket. You're gonna get pretty much to the elbow. So what I'm gonna have you do is lift. Remember how we spoke about this? So pass it, good. Roll, lift, make the pass. Good, you've got it, or you can get into some flow type movement, however you want. But now what we're talking about is if they lift. Brisbane do a fantastic job of this because Tommy Jervis loves to roll the basket. Daniel Kickett is probably one of the best three-point shooting power forwards in the league, all right? So they do a good job of this roll and replace, all right? So come back, defense jump back in for us. We're still gonna X out, right? But what we do now is we call what's show high, stay high. Okay, so this is just another version of showing, okay? So make the pass, perfect, okay? Come off the screen, show, now hold it right there. Your player comes up with you, you need to follow them. And so then you communicate and you drop, is that yours? Perfect, so then you're gonna drop back, right? Perfect, you're coming up because that's your player now. That's it, and you can lift up a little bit because this is your player, all right? So remember, we do the triangle away, but if your players are moving pieces, that's where you've got to communicate someone else, or you can switch off the ball, right? But generally, we like to try and stay on our players, because if we start switching, you know, we're already putting ourselves in a tough spot before, you know, they've even done the pick and roll, okay? So we talk about this where we want to show high, stay high, okay? So instead of following your player out, come back for me where you were. You come back to the top, okay? Come back to the block for me real quick. You're going to stay exactly where you are. Right? You're still going to lift, and you boys are going to hard show for me real quick. Good. Go. Bang. Hold it there. Good. Now what happens is you take him, and you're running towards the high post with high hands. Okay? Because we communicate that switch off the ball. And it will simply be like, take mine, take Tommy, take kick it, whatever it may be. All right? So we show high, stay high. So this time when you run it, roll hard to the basket, so you're going to meet him right there. You lift all the way, and if you get a clean look, I want you to shoot it. Got it? All right, let's see it. Ready? Show high, stay high. Boom. And even with the little, it worked out pretty good. Okay? Any questions on that? So that's show high, stay high, and we still switch out like for like off the ball, and it doesn't hurt us. Let's blitz. I haven't got it on there. Same formation, set it up again for me. Now when we blitz, and this is where we talk about and we want to be violent on the ball, most teams will call this like red, because obviously it's red, it's impactful, red, all right? So make the pass. Everything's the same. We want to send it to the screen. You're going to come out and you're going to hard show on this. You guys are triangle away. Push it out. And now you stay with it though. So you guys are playing the ball, you're looking to trap on this, okay? We always want to try and take first pass. And it's generally the closest pass, which is this one. So yeah, so you'll come up and take this. When you see her go, you'll stay right there and you'll stay at the captain. Because we always want the captain covered, we always want the nail covered, okay? If you get pushed up really high and then you start to leak out, you can go for it too. because we're talking about guys with athletic ability. You athletic? Yes, yeah, athletic. Go and get it, because you can recover back in time. Great, okay? So you go get it, you stay home, you take care of it too, because the only person who's open has to be effectively a cross-court pass with your hands in your face all the way to the corner. So we want to take that pass, we want to take that pass. You guys want to try it? All right, that's it. We're blitzing on this. Start with the ball on the wing again, so we get some movement from the defense. That's it. All right, what? Who's got corner? One hand away, good. Perfect, deny the post. All right, that's it. Play it, play it, play it. Good. Get up in them. Get up in them. Hold it there. Great job. And it's a scramble now. So yeah, you'll just sprint back. You'll just sprint. If you're the last person back, you'll be going, someone take corner. All right? You got to communicate and ask that, because again, that's the responsibility of the captain. Okay? Come back here again for us real quick, guys. Because what you guys did really well was hands up. The moment you put your hands in, the moment the ref can't see your hands, they call it now. All right? As much as it irritates you, they'll call it. Okay? But if the refs see this, the refs see that, and they're taking away the space, refs can't call a thing. Okay? If anything, just stay aggressive in his face and be yelling trap. All right? You got to add that level of intimidation. Stay violent on the ball with that. And then everybody else is taking first pass, because it adds to the panic of it all. If we're all red, 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 and he's panicked, and then our team is up denying the passes, and then the whole offense is panicked, it's a shame that some of the wobble age groups don't have a shot clock, because if they get out of this, then they can just reset their offense, but it is what it is. But if you can entice that level of panic, suddenly they'll be so quick to force a bad shot. All right, and that's sort of what we're looking for on that. All right, so that's a blitz, or you can call that red. All right, set me up again, the exact same formation that you guys had. And again, we're talking about, I know we're talking a lot with side pick and rolls at the moment, but we'll get into like some step ups and mid pick and rolls in a sec. Make the pass. Now what we want to do is we want to send away from the screen. We want to send them baseline, okay? This is a good one where if the ball comes from below the foul line. So let's actually have you guys back again real quick. This time what I want you to do, you're going to come up and set the screen. All right, I'll take your spot real quick. Okay, so as soon as you make that pass, you dive to the block. Okay, so perfect, make that pass. And we can be gone, because in the scout we're saying blue, or we just say screen because we know it's coming. I'm here, and I'm ready to absorb the ball. All right, if he's still a pick and pop shooter, if she's still a pick and pop shooter, I can get out to that, that's fine. But what we're really concerned on is containing the ball here, because we don't want him to use the screen. Because the screens come from below the foul line, it's harder for me to get out and show. So I can still be aggressive, but I can be late to it. All right, does that sort of make sense? Let's swap spots. Jump in, let me take your spot real quick. Have the ball back at the top. So you're going to sprint to the screen for me, so start low. All right, make the pass. Perfect, I hear that coming. So the difference now is where I was every other time, like the under-over, I'm sending them to the screen. Now I'm up on his hip and I'm playing the ball, okay? I have to make sure I'm sending him this way. Sometimes what the biggest default people tend to do is they'll play the screen right here. What it leaves you vulnerable to though is a step up. So step right in there, perfect, okay? So we want to get up and pressure the ball. We want to send the ball as much as we can to the sideline. Damian Martin's fantastic at this for obvious reasons, okay? So I hear blue, I'm up here, and now we send them this way. Bounce the ball. You're playing it, but you're still playing your man. I can get back in front, we're good. Okay, come back. If I'm late, my feet are in concrete, you rip and go. Now it's a switch. Got it? So whenever the screen's coming from below the foul line, or the pick and roll's coming from below the foul line, you can do yourself a lot of favors just by bluing it or sending it baseline. Any questions? Mid pick and roll. As what we talked about, let's go with a 3 flat. Ball carrier up at the circle. Let's just get the big guy here setting the screen. Let's have you on an angle though, so we're not going straight on. That's it, so we're going like that, all right? So let's say we found the scout, you lefty or righty? Right-handed. We're on the scout, he's real strong going on his right hand. He wants this screen. He wants to be able to set his man up here and then come off in right hand and look to make a play out of that, okay? So what we want to do is we want to make sure we try and send him left on this, okay? So the first thing we need is ball pressure, right? But it's not so much ball pressure as we're being up and in. What we're doing is we're herding cattle, right? We want to be ball pressure here, keep him engaged, but we don't want to be back here and allow this screen to be set wherever he wants. So I'm the ball defender, I'm up here, and I'm sending him this way, and I'm making a clear visual. We want a point. So now you got to show your numbers. That's it, just like that. And that's the terminology we use. Show your numbers to the ball carrier, okay? We want him to be able to see his numbers, okay? So you'll be up on the ball. You want to use this screen as much as possible. So let's say for the sake of this drill, you do use the screen. Let's say you open up the gate, you jump over this side, cross him over, use the screen. You'll jump that side of it, okay? We want the screen defender to go over it and he's absorbing the ball. Okay, so let me take your spot real quick. Okay. So I open up the gate, cross over, we're going over. You hit me, hit me, mate, come on. Like, you got to use the screen too, mate. So you use the screen, we go over, he absorbs the ball, and I'm doing everything I can to get back in front, and you take your man. Cool? If I get caught on that screen, all right, if I get caught on that screen, we got to switch out, all right, and I'm veering back. So as you're starting to roll to the basket, I'm doing everything in my possible way to stay in front of you. I want to contain, keep this real estate for myself. Especially if there's a mismatch, it's harder for the guys to do anything closer to the ring in that instance. All right, let's play this. Let's start in the corner for us. You guys come up. Switch it over. Yeah, you guys go in the corner. Give the ball. And what I'm going to get you guys to do is you're going to set a down screen, okay? So you're going to come up and set the mid pick and roll for me. So you're going to go for a dribble handoff. You're going to bring the ball out nice and wide. As that's happening, you set a down pick, coming up. I want you to set a high pick and roll. Just straddle the three-point line, 1 foot either side of it, and you guys are going to look to use it. And we're mush, okay? Let's see it. Good. Come up high. Now look to use it. Hold it there. Come on, mate. You got to use the screen. Use the screen. All right. One more time. Let me see it. Use the screen. Actually, girls, let's swap you guys so you're setting the screen for us. Hey, really hit him on the screen. Be tough. All right, let's see it. Go. Use that screen. Lead him in. Good. Oh. All right. And that's good rotation by you. Good job. Way to put your body on the line. All right. But you can get back in front of that. Don't switch if you don't have to. What killed him on that was no one spoke a goddamn word. So if no one's going to take responsibility for it, what ends up happening is everybody's sort of wandering around what's going on, okay? There has to be a clear voice in that. Got it? One more time for me, fellas, and this time talk it up. If you're going to switch, that's fine. Otherwise, if he can get back in front, tell him get back in front. All right, let's see it. Play off him a little bit, absorb it. Good, good. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. All right, so that's mush. So if you switch because you have to switch, so be it. Otherwise, you want to try and contain that as much as possible.